Hey everybody, Craig Cottle, Director of Nature Reliance School. We've got either the coolest thing you've seen in a while or the biggest fail you've ever seen in a while that we're going to share with you today. We got a venison brat, that is a deer meat bratwurst that's in here. We're going to cook it with those pine needles, but we've got a special way we're going to do it. Glad you joined us. Be forewarned, I've never done this before, but this is what happened. My son and I, a couple years ago, had the good fortune of training a bunch of individuals that have all graduated from SERE school through the United States military. And they were high-speed, low-drag kind of guys, really super guys. Fantastic group of individuals we got to work with. One of the things that they told us that they had done in SERE school in a certain part of the world was that one of their instructors took a chicken and stuck it on a stick, put it on the ground, and then put a bucket over top of it, basically a coffee can over top of it, piled a bunch of pine needles on top of that, and then lit the pine needles, and by the time the pine needles got burned up, you had a cooked chicken. Now, I didn't want to get a chicken just to see if we were going to fail this thing, so I've got a venison brat. I'm going to stick it in the ground here. We're going to cover this up with a bunch of white pine. This is eastern white pine needles, and see what that does for us. So again, I've never done this before, so this is as new to me as it is to you, but in an effort to show that we're always trying new things too, that's what we're going to do here. Now, the gentleman that taught me this said that they piled it up as tall as they were against a tree. I'm not going to do that here today just because I don't have enough pine needles, and the brat is not nearly as big as the chicken. So we're going to take liberty to not set up as big a pile of stuff and see what happens. Now we got a lot of pine cones mixed in there, and we're going to light it up and see what it does. Now I've had these pine cones saving in one of my outbuildings for quite a while, so they're extremely dry. I don't know how easy this would be to do if we didn't have stuff that was extremely dry. So we'll let her cook up there for a while, and hopefully when we get done, we'll have us a good venison brat. Venison brats coming up. Well, just one brat. So I guess that's one for me and none for the camera lady. So we'll see. I don't know, she might get the food for the day. But I'm telling you what, that's a lot of heat, as you would well expect from a bunch of white pine needles. We've got a pile, is actually about 2 55-gallon drumfuls of, garbage bag drumfuls of white pine needles. It was real easy to light. I kept it dry for an extended period of time, like several months at this point, and there's a few pine cones down in there, so everything's real good. And it looks like it's burning. Just the big question is, I wonder if the brat's getting cooked down in there. We'll see when we get done here. So it's just about, whoa, hello. Hey, it's just about done here, and we're going to check it out, but we're going to let it burn all the way. One of the things that this gentleman told me was to just light it and walk away from it and let it cook, and just let it burn down to nothing, and when you get done, you'll have a cooked chicken. Now, what he expected from the chicken and what he experienced from the chicken was that the outer portion was completely charred, and so he would pull that off. If you were in a survival situation, you'd eat that. However, in a situation where you don't have to be surviving, in essence, you can pull the charred material off and then you can eat what's inside. It's real simple. This is taking about 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know exactly how long it's taking to burn all that down, but we're getting to the point where it's going to be going out. So we're going to kick it around a little bit, because I'm sure there's a bunch of needles underneath there like that need to get cooked up, and then we'll be done. So again, not trying to start a forest fire or anything, and at the same time trying to get this sucker cooked up, see what it does. The hot dog, it actually fell out about right over here, so I'm just moving some pine needles over to where they're on top. I'm guessing, not sure, but I'm guessing we're going to find that bratwurst is charred to pieces when we get in there, but that's okay. I like trying new things. I hope you do too. All right, so this thing's about done. I'm gonna fish it out of there. That way, if it's not done, when we get in there, There it is. Yeehaw. That way if it's not done, we've got a few more of these needles. We can cook it on up, but I'm gonna pull it out and let it cool off. See what we got. So the broad is inside here. And I wrapped it up with a double thickness of aluminum foil and it's hot and it is perfectamundo. Perfect. So what we're going to do is, it's really scalded on one side, and this is what happened. And this is one of the things they told me, is you don't want to sit that down on the ground because you don't have any pine needles underneath of it. So you want that up off the ground, so you do have some pine needles that are cooking it all the way around. That's what I did with that stick. As you saw me, I was stuck the stick in the ground. But what happened is, and I should have thought about this, but what happened is shortly after, the stick just caught fire and burned and it fell over in, so it was laying on the ground part of the time. So part of the brat is, just slightly not as brown as the rest of it, because I like to get these brown so they're good, not black. But we'll bring it close to the camera so you can see what we got. We have a mighty fine looking venison brat ready to eat. So I'm gonna cut this in half. I'm gonna share it with the camera lady. And again, I'm always looking to learn new skills, and you hear instructors say this, but I'm honestly saying it and I'm meaning it and put my words behind it by showing this. I never thought about doing that, but one of the people that came to my class taught me that, and I'm always trying new skills and always learning from the students in my class, so I'm always continuing to grow, and I hope that shows you that you should be doing the same. No matter how good you think you are, continue to always grow as a student and learn. And even if you're not learning and you're just simply practicing skills that you already know, it's not a life wasted. So, as always with Nature Alliance School, come on, join in. Let's always learn together. Pardon me, it's just me over here eating my finely cooked bratwurst.